Number 9, you're going to be asked to find the angle measurement. So we are still going to set up our trig ratio, but now we have to apply the inverse to solve for that angle. All right, so let me show you A here. So that question mark is at the angle. So we don't know that question mark, so we can just we can draw that person there though. Okay, let's label it 13, which is the adjacent, because it's the near to that person, and the 20 is the hypotenuse. We know based on our trig ratio, it is cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So now we can just set that up. Okay, so here it would be cosine, and we don't know the angle, so we just put a question mark, is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So that cosine of that question mark is equal to 13 over 20. We want that question mark by itself, so now we apply the inverse. So the question mark is equal to cosine inverse of 13 over 20. This is when you have to use your calculator. So the question mark is approximately, so let's enter that in our calculator, cosine inverse 13 divided by 20. That gets you approximately 49.5 degrees, okay? Guess it says round to the nearest degree. To the nearest degree, okay. So that would be 49.5, 49.45, 49.0, I guess, if that's to the nearest degree, okay? All right, let's do the next one. We draw a person at the angle. The 24 here, that is the hypotenuse. Do you see how it's opposite to that 90? And the 12, it is the opposite. Okay, so this would be sine. So sine of that question mark is equal to its opposite over hypotenuse. Sine question mark is equal to 12 over 24. To get that question mark by itself, we do the inverse. So question mark is equal to sine inverse of 12 over 24. Okay, plug that into the calculator. Sine inverse of 12 divided by 24, you get 30. So this question mark is equal to 30 degrees. Okay, all right, so let's do C. Draw a person here at the angle. The 6 is its adjacent because it's closest to it. That 8, which is opposite to that 90, so this makes it the hypotenuse. Adjacent at hypotenuse would be cosine. So cosine of that question mark is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, which is cosine question mark is equal to 6 over 8. Question mark is equal to the cosine inverse of 6 over 8. So we now can plug that into the calculator. Cosine inverse of 6 divided by 8, you get the question mark is approximately 41 degrees. Let's do D here. We put our person here, and we have the hypotenuse here, the adjacent here, and the opposite here. All right, we can pick any two we want. So let me do the sine one. Sine of this question mark is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, which is sine question mark is 68 over, let me write that better, 68 over 85. So the question mark is equal to sine inverse of 68 over 85. We can now plug this into the calculator. Sine inverse of 68 divided by 85, this gets you 53 degrees, okay? All right, I'm gonna do it one more time because I have other pieces to double check my work. So let's do cosine. Cosine of the question mark is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine of the question mark is equal to adjacent, which is 651 over the hypotenuse, which is 85. The question mark is equal to the cosine of the inverse of 51 over 85. That is how we get the question mark by itself. So we plug in cosine inverse of 51 divided by 85. This gets you, again, the 53 degrees. So I just did it 2 different ways and I still got the answer of 53 degrees. So there you go. This is how we find that missing angle. We apply the inverse trig ratios.